Someone was knocking on my door. Hey, Gary. I'm just making the rounds to top up the loo roll. To do what? He handed me 2 rolls of toilet paper. Oh, thank you. There's usually some stored in the kitchen, but James won't stack too much in case someone nicks it. Try not to run out. Yeah, that would be awkward. Yeah, don't want anyone stealing the toilet paper, of course. He waved and headed onto the next door down. Wow, the days are just flying by now. What is going on? It was first thing in the morning. I'd barely woken up and I heard a soft knock on the door. Oh, look who it is. It's Mark. Yes? What are you doing here? Hello. So... I wanted to apologize. Apologize? For what? The other night at dinner. After reflecting a bit on what you said, I realized that you were correct. I insulted everybody at the table, including you, and I was rude about it. I didn't see the error of my own ways. This is a very formal apology. I'm apologizing to everybody else as well, but I wanted to make sure you knew that I appreciated your words. Yeah, I think you're right, Matty G. This does look like a very Fabio-inspired character. I think he might be. Just in disguise. Oh, and also like 40 years younger. I wasn't sure how to respond, to tell the truth. I was shocked. It was such a direct, simple, straightforward apology. I rarely ever received a straightforward apology, even in situations that deserved it. Like a huge fight among friends or family. Now a total stranger was apologizing to me for remarks most people would simply have forgotten about. Well, thank you. It's no problem. But may I tell you something? I blinked at him, and after a moment's hesitation, he continued. I have been very confused. I don't think I can talk to people very well normally without them becoming angry. Since the other night, I've been noticing it in almost everybody I talk to. It was worse than I thought. It's been a bit of a problem because I think everybody's avoiding me now. People are not so sensitive in France as they are here. Oh, so Mark is the French guy. Okay. He laughed merrily, but I didn't see the joke. Was he French then? He didn't sound French to me. Maybe I was used to parody French accents. Well, I don't want to put on a charade and pretend to be something I'm not, or to respond less than honestly to them, but my genuine responses seem to arouse anger. It's a conundrum. What should I do about it? Huh. Yeah, it's probably in the way he phrases things. I would say that's most likely it. Alright, let's do this one. I think you're phrasing your opinions too bluntly. I'm pretty sure there are ways that you could put things where they don't seem quite so aggressive. Ah, I see. He tapped the tip of his chin with a slender finger. It seems I'll have to give this more thought. Anyways, thank you for your help. You're a very kind person. I know, or well, I've realized that I'm probably not the easiest person to deal with. Thank you for dealing with me. Hey, T-Master Sen, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, yes. We have a Fabio-looking character in this game. Very interesting looking. Hope you're doing well. He beamed at me with my heart, and my heart felt oddly lighter. You know, I'm usually by myself reading books in the library, up in the philosophy section. You should come visit me sometime. Oh. Well, hey now. He waved happily and skipped off down the hallway. Considering he was now aware that no one around here liked him, it was odd that he was so happy. Oh well, with that done, it was time to get on with my day. Well, maybe now I could do things to try and improve his relationships, now that we've helped advise him a little bit. I just finished eating when Peggy sprinted to the dining room. Upon seeing me, she lunged for my hands. What is going on? Gary, I need your help. Okay, with what? Danny has team tryouts today. Football tryouts. And I want to try, but I don't want to go alone. Scared I'll make an idiot of myself. Do you know what I mean? I know you're into sports and you're part of some teams back in the States. Won't you go with me? Were we? I didn't know we were, but okay. Joining his team would be a great way to impress Danny and spend some more time with him. And possibly Peggy as well. I wonder though, but would that mean we wouldn't spend as much time with the other characters? I guess it doesn't matter too much since it's just the demo that we're trying out. So if I was to play this for real, I could always go back and change the decisions. But I wonder if there's only a certain amount of extracurricular activities you could do and have time for. The library's the perfect place to get a girlfriend, says that person. That's interesting. We got a description of Team Master Sen's name there. It's pretty cool to know. If Peggy has glasses, she would be Sup's type. Is that so? Yeah, maybe we'll skip out on this one. That way we have more time for the other characters. Because between them, these two, I don't think either one really appeals to me. Danny or her. Alright, let's skip out on this one. No thanks, I'm no good at soccer. Aww. Peggy's face fell, and I felt a little bit bad, but there's no way I was going to make a fool of myself in front of Danny and who knew who else. You can do it though, I believe in you. Right, well thanks anyway, Gary. Alright, so she's not too pissed. That's good. More time for stuff later, I guess. Since I've come all the way to another country, I should probably spend some time exploring, shouldn't I? Maybe I'll get a chance to see the other characters now. I left the hostel and took off down a street, unsure of where I was going, but not really caring. I did this often when I lived in New York. Just wander. Usually I found an interesting shop, or at least ended up with a story to tell. Now though, I felt completely confused. The streets of London were both very difficult, very different, and not different at all. The air was thinner, and it felt better to breathe. When I signed up for this program, I was warned that most Americans would get sick in the first 2 weeks of living in London because of the air pollution, the London smog. Coming from New York City though, it didn't really bother me one bit. I kept noticing the architecture. The older style of buildings reminded me so much of home. But these buildings were cleaner and clearly older. The walkways were broad and clear, and in the business districts, giant plazas filled with people in business suits and sharp English accents. Everything was so similar, but so different. I felt like I was walking through plastic, not really connected to anything I was seeing. Oh, we're actually playing the demo of this game. Team Master Sen. Not Soul Set, this game that we're playing right now, which is called English Exchange, or England Exchange, I should say. In no time I felt exhausted. I hadn't walked too far, but maybe the stimulation was too much. Or maybe it was just jet lag still. Ooh, a park. This looks really nice. I collapsed into a cafe seat near a park. Hopefully the owner wouldn't mind too much that I was mooching. They probably got people like me all the time, so I hope they were used to it. As I rubbed my sore neck, something caught my eye. Who is this guy? Oh, it's a girl. Okay. I thought this was a guy at first. A young Asian woman with short black hair and thick-rimmed glasses stood over a canvas, muttering under her breath. I'm trying to think, this character actually reminds me a lot of someone else. Their appearance. I'm trying to think of who it is though, I can't exactly place it. At least, I think it was supposed to be under her breath, but I could hear her from here. Have you ever played Katawa Shoujo? I have played a little bit of it, but I have yet to play the full thing. I think I might actually have a couple of videos up of Katawa Shoujo somewhere on my channel. You could probably find it under playlists. So yeah, I have played a little bit. Yeah, I thought it was a guy at first, my bad. Supposed to capture the light if it keeps moving. I didn't think it'd be so. She seemed frustrated about her painting. I tilted my head a bit to catch more of a glimpse of what she was working on. It was a stylized landscape of the park, I think. I tilted my head the other way. No, it was a realistic watercolor, wasn't it? What was it she was trying to do? Oh, we only have one so far? Alright, maybe I only did one video of it. I can't really remember. Curious, I got up and sidled over to her, hoping it didn't seem too creepy. Didn't make any better sense from this angle, but from the looks of the woman, she was an artist. She had that whole bohemian thing that suggested that for her. It was all about the flow of things, man. Yeah, man. I glanced at her again and accidentally made eye contact. What do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I just wanted a better look. I was curious. What do you think? It looks good. I'm a little... what are you trying for here? I wanted to capture the landscape as I see it. What does that mean? From your perspective or... Well, yes, from my perspective. Not point of view, not specific location. Well, I mean, yes, a specific location, but also my perspective. Oh, okay. She had a foreign accent of some sort, but wasn't the reason that I found her words a bit hard to follow. Actually, there was something familiar about her voice, but I couldn't quite... Oh, now Cerise is correcting me again. I have 4 parts of Katawa Shoujo up. Okay. Everyone else knows more about my LP than I do. I was going to say, I think it is more than 1 part at least. So yeah, it's 4 of them. Maybe I should continue it sometime. Maybe we'll do that for another stream one day. We'll continue more Katawa Shoujo. I have to be careful though, because there is some content in Katawa Shoujo that would get me in trouble. So I would have to make sure I censor it, at least. What do you feel when you look at this? Confused, but I would never actually tell her that. It seems a little morose and a little... Maybe... Do you have a lot on your mind? It seems like you're looking for something, but not really finding it. That's how I'd put it, I think. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. You didn't insult me. Your tone of voice suggested otherwise, though. She was silent for a bit as I continued to feign interest in her canvas. Yeah, Demon-chan, about Katawa Shoujo, it only has like really 1 scene, I think, on each route where it has adult content like that. So I don't think it's too bad to play. Well, actually, it's more like 1 or 2 scenes, I think, on each route. Yes, I did think this girl was a guy at first. My bad. It was when we first saw her, though, and I quickly figured it out. So, it wasn't too bad. She was silent for a bit as I continued to feign interest in her canvas. At this point, the conversation was awkward. I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible, but couldn't really think of a way out. What should I do? This is why I never talk to strangers. It's cool. I looked up startled. I mean, not everybody gets art, you know? Everybody's got their own place. We all got our own paths, man. Oh, thanks for understanding, but what happened to your glasses? I nodded slowly. Her demeanor seemed to have changed, but I didn't quite know how to feel about it. I'm Ji Hyo, by the way. If you couldn't tell, I'm not from around here. Ah, so she's Korean. That's why her voice reminded me a little bit of Jin-Soo. I'm Gary. Me neither. I'm from New York, and staying in a hostel a few blocks away. Are you? I am too. Mine's called The One. It's decent enough. It does what I need it to do. Okay, so yet another person living where we live. Wait, The One? But that's where I'm staying. Is it? Why haven't I seen you around? I've been there for a few days already and I haven't seen you eating with us. Oh, I've been busy sketching and trying to sketch the perfect location. You know, art never sleeps. When I get that drive, I just have to go out and start painting. So pretty much everyone we know lives in the same place that we do. It's kind of silly, but whatever. How long have you been doing art? It's hard for me to figure that out. A long time. As long as I can remember. Off and on. I guess... I didn't start seriously pursuing it until a few years ago. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Cool. Super cool, yo. There it was again. What was that weird tone? I'm not really sure, to be honest. That was kind of creepy. Anyways, I'm gonna be heading back now. The lighting shifted, so I might as well just go work on it at the hostel. Let me come with you. Sure, if you say so. I watched her pack up her massive array of paints, brushes, and easel, and canvas into a black bag nearly as big as she was. The only time I'd ever seen people with bags like that were in movies, so I was kind of surprised. I don't know if she wants us going with her. She might be getting a weird vibe from us. The hostel was only a few blocks away, so we made it in under 5 minutes, making fairly polite conversation. Well, it was nice to meet you, Gary. Maybe I'll see you around some more. I guess it went well enough. She left before I could think of something better to say than just yeah. As I head for the bathroom, I realized how hard my heart was pounding. I just sustained an entire conversation with a stranger in London, and even made a new friend. What a good day. Interesting. Very, very interesting. The nice thing about living in the hostel was that, despite the thin walls, it was often pretty silent. People were often working or in school, so it was easy to find peace and quiet. It was quiet enough to hear the birds outside my window, the wind howling through the cracks in the wood. Actually, I don't hear any birds right now, but whatever. Quiet enough to hear footsteps in the hallway. Rapid, heavy footsteps, like someone was on a mission. And of course, the pounding at our door. And in the time it took me to stand up from my desk and cross the room, it grew several decibels louder. Now, of course, it's Peggy again. I pulled open the door to find Peggy on the other end, eyes electric. Gary! I need your help. Sign my petition, please. What? It's weird that we keep seeing Peggy. We haven't seen the other girl at all yet, that we saw the, only like the first or second day here. See, our uni is far, far behind the times as far as the green movement goes. You think that a place of intellectualism and education would be concerned about the future of the world. The future of its very patrons, but no. Oh boy. It seems like we have another character like Sally from Roommates who's always protesting and like trying to get us in trouble. So we'll see how this goes. No. It is left to those of us with common sense, desire, and passion to find a way to get our world out of this ridiculous predicament it's in. Our way of life is totally unsustainable. There's no way we'll be living like we do now in 30 years. Right now we're pumping out cheap clothes just to throw them away in a year. We are stripping the soil of nutrients to grow food that we mostly waste. If we go on like this, nothing will grow, and the seas will rise and drown the coastlines, and we'll all have to eat nothing but insects. And you can bet your bollocks will be sorry nobody invested in clean energy, and we end up running out of fossil fuels. She started speaking faster and faster. I simply tuned her out, instead of watching the dynamic expressions on her face. Oh wow. She didn't seem to have any idea what she looked like when she spoke. Her eyes getting wider and smaller, her mouth flying this way and that. The occasional chunk of spit flying from her mouth. Lovely. Finally, instead of gesturing dramatically at the wall, she began to make eye contact with me again, and I tuned back in. Even the smallest of actions, if made in a concerted effort by a multitude of individuals on a daily basis, should be able to help. It's easy to say it won't make a bloody dent, but that's a load of rubbish. Let's see. Yeah, actually don't do it. After hearing her, she sounds very annoying. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if we want to go with this character, especially when we have a lot of other choices. If everyone who said something like that did what they were complaining about, even if they just got off their asses and voted for change, oh god, the world would end up being a much better place. So we signed my petition. I got a bit lost in the middle somewhere. What's the petition for again? I don't even know. I kind of lost track too. I want the university to commit to using more renewable resources. London completely ignores solar power because of the cramped roof spaces and poor weather. Well, exactly! Because they don't have any way of implementing solar power. It wouldn't work in London because it's cloudy half the time, so it'd just be a waste of money. But we have big buildings that can make it work. Yeah, if you're going to do solar power, you have to do it in a place where it's sunny all the time. London is supposed to be like cloudy most of the time, so it'd probably be completely wasted. All that information is just for a solar panel petition. Please, please, please sign it. I know you're the kind of person who believes in changing the future. Nobody else has signed it, so... She looked so sad seeing it that I couldn't help but take pity on her. Sure, I'll sign. Oh, Gary has a mind of his own for this one. I couldn't even influence this one. Yes, get in! The way she was dancing around and punching the air, you'd think she had entered a gladiatorial arena and managed to take it out alive. We didn't have a choice, guys, I'm sorry. Shadowcat says, I'm not sure if I've seen the scene. Maybe it's because Tanarum's playing the full version. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it's because we did something different this time. We are the guy, so maybe she's only interested in guys? Who knows? Do you think you might do me another favor? Oh no. Give an inch and they take a mile. That depends on how big a fever. Would you help me get signatures from everyone here? For some reason, I can't seem to sit anyone down long enough to talk to them. Of course. Oh, I knew the reason. I didn't want to bother anyone with that kind of thing. They definitely wouldn't like it, but it would make Peggy happy if I did. No, we're not going to get other people to sign it. If she can't do it, then why would we? No, we're too busy for this right now. We have other stuff to do. I have something to study for, so if you don't mind. Oh, yeah, that's okay, I understand. We've had to shut this girl down twice already. We haven't even gotten an offer from any of the other girls yet. It's like I smacked a puppy dead in the face. Well, I'll see you around then. I'll find people to sign this, no matter what. Yeah, you keep fighting the power, brother. Or sister. And her fire was back. I watched her stomp off down the hall, then returned to my room with a grateful sigh. Time is flying by. Ooh, at the library, cool. Yeah, our choices have only been with Fabio so far, and Peggy it seems. And doesn't Fabio hang out at the library, so I'm probably going to see him again. The university library was a little less friendly than the ones I'd usually seen in America. Back home, even high school students could visit a campus library to take notes and check references, although they'd need special permission to check anything out. I'd done papers for history class that way. Here the whole library is behind a security gate that needed a university ID card to get in. There are multiple lanes of in-out traffic, like the underground, but could still make an awful bottleneck at a busy time of day. I had vaguely heard about a scandal where a guy stole rare old books from a British library to sell at an online auction. Maybe that was why they were so tight on security? Huh, I wonder if that's a reference to anything in particular. The thing that reminds me of, and it wasn't a British library, I'm thinking about like Aaron Schwartz, who like whatever hacked into like the MIT library, and then he was like downloading all the reference materials or whatever. And then like they were coming down like really hard on him, and he ended up like killing himself because of that. That was like really sad. That was a number of years ago now though. What I name the MC? We're called Gary. A very generic character. Didn't Mark say he hung out here a lot? Maybe I should try to find him. Which section should I look in? Oh, he's a philosopher. Yeah. There we go. I looked around the philosophy section and spotted Mark sitting at the table. He had a wide array of books spread in front of him, so for a moment I wondered if I should bother him. Then he looked up, saw me, and waved me over. Gary, it's so good to see you. Hi. I took a seat quickly and lowered my voice. It was a library after all. Hobo Jesus is still my favorite, says Nairu. We haven't seen him in a long time. He only popped up in the beginning, and then again to wake us up on like the first day or second day we were here. So I don't know when we'll see him again. So you study philosophy. All studies philosophy. The word means the love of wisdom. But isn't philosophy one of those abstract concepts that you said wasn't important? The belief that the abstract concepts are less important than living concerns is itself a philosophy. Yep, we're talking to Mark again. Like I said, everything's been between Mark and Peggy so far. From there, the conversation got a bit convoluted. Still, Mark was never angry when I disagreed with him, or had to ask him to explain a term he was using. He was an interesting person to talk to. Weird, but interesting. Yeah, that's a fair description of him, I guess. Hey, Edward, how's it going? Gary, looks like you're serving table 5. Brennan pointed to the largest table in the bar, filled with 10 loud and clearly obnoxious teenagers. Have fun. I glared at him and he laughed. What did I ever do to him? Him getting in trouble was his own damn fault. Oh well, someone had to do it after all. It's funny how we never really see anything with that. With our workplace. As I entered the hostel common room, I spotted Ji Hyo inside. She had told me she was living here, but it was the first time I'd actually seen her. It was the first time I'd actually run into her, so to speak. I might have expected an artist to relax on one of the colorful beanbags, but she was perched on the sofa, leaning forwards like a student trying to memorize the notes on a board. Coming closer, I realized she had a sketch pad in her lap. She must have been working on something. Is it alright if I watch TV? What? Sorry to disturb you. I'm not disturbed. No, not disturbed. So, do you mind if I turn on the TV then? It's fine. I took a seat, not too close, and turned on the set, though I kept the sound low. Yeah, we have to be subtle about this. Smart thinking, Gary. I snuck a peek or two at G. This doesn't sound very subtle, we're just like glancing over at her like every couple of seconds. Just to be sure. I wasn't bothering her, but her attention seemed completely focused on the paper in front of her. She must be good at tuning out the rest of the world. Thinking that, I relaxed and watched my show. BBC programs didn't have commercial breaks exactly, but they did run a few promotions for other shows between time slots. I leaned back and yawned and caught Ji Hyo staring at me. What? What? Did I do something strange? No, sometimes I stare into space when I'm thinking. Oh, I've done that. I didn't mean to make her feel awkward. So, what are you working on? A study. Something you're studying for class? No, a study, a preparation, planning for a painting. Oh, I see. Where are you gonna paint? I don't know. She stood up. Like, the ideas just come to me, you know? You dig? Right. You can't control where the inspiration goes, yo. What's with her sayings randomly? Like dropping yo or whatever in a conversation. Sounds so out of place. Sorry. She picked up her sketch pad and left the room. I hoped I hadn't upset her, but I found her a bit hard to understand. That's because she is a bit hard to understand. I'm not really sure what she's going on about. I was resting in the living room after a long day of work, hand over my eyes, when I heard a heavy sigh and someone plopped onto the cushion next to me. How come this stream was a surprise? That was because at first I didn't really know what I was going to stream, so it's kind of like question mark, question mark, question mark when I began the stream. We actually had a vote. It was between this and the Cinderella phenomenon of the game I was going to stream. So eventually the votes were tallied and we picked out this one. It's been pretty interesting so far. Reminds me of a lot of roommates. Oh, look who's here. Work is horrible, isn't it? I lifted my hand. Asi was next to me, a weary smile on her face. Yeah, that's probably why it's called work. Not much we could do about it. I didn't feel much like talking and thought my reply would ward her off, but instead she giggled. You know what's funny? Both times we've seen her, our character hasn't wanted to talk to her, which is very annoying. You must be quite disciplined. With an attitude like that, I should learn from you, but I'm too impatient. I nodded, unsure what to say in response. How's your workday? Brennan giving you a hard time? I glanced at her in surprise. Had Ashley told her? I tried to keep it quiet since I didn't want to start trouble in the hostel. There were enough of us that a little bit of friction could set a fire ablaze. Oh, I know Brennan pretty well. Plus, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to put two and two together. As soon as I saw the looks he was giving you, I knew you were on his list. Is this a common thing? I wouldn't say it's common. It's not easy to make Brendan feel insecure, but somehow you've managed to do it. Really? We've made him feel insecure. Well, I guess somehow we have. Wait, insecure? I thought he was mad because I almost cost him his job. No, he almost cost him his job. He knows that just as much as you do. But it bothers him to see how easily people have taken to you. You're not best friends with everyone, but they're comfortable around you. It's not the case for him, abrasive as he is. Well, it's his own damn fault. Oh, I didn't think about it that way. You wonder what her Maddie says, I wonder why this is her casual clothes. Like, what does she do all day? That's a very good question when you put it that. I don't know. Yeah, why is she just chilling out in these clothes? He's not a bad guy, he's just kind of a twat. Don't let him get to you. And if you ever want to talk about it, you could always vent to me. My lips are sealed. Or so you say. Well, thank you, Assi. To be honest, it was weighing on me. I didn't want to tell anyone, but dealing with it every day in silence was getting rough. She's pretty much like the equivalent to the girl in Roommates, isn't she? Right? I would say so. I figured everyone needs someone they could talk to. Someone they can rely on, you know? I hope I can be that person for you. Thank you, and if you ever need to talk, I'm here for you too. We actually haven't gotten to know her too much, but to me she seems a bit more mature than, what's her name? Isabella. Yeah, she seems a little bit more mature than Isabella was in Roommates. Thanks, Gary. Honestly, you're so sweet. It's no wonder everyone likes you. It's hard to find guys who are genuinely nice, without wanting anything from you, if you know what I mean. I'm glad you came to this hostel. I need to meet someone like you. Whoa. That is heavy. I'm glad I could help, Assi. Anyways, I'm gonna relax. I'll see you around, Gary. I hope so. Alright, Team Master Sen. Have a good night. You might come back later? Okay. Yeah, but if I don't see you, have a good night, man. I watched Assi get up and leave the room, her hips gently swaying. My first impression of Assi was that she was just a shallow party girl. What with the giant earrings, the style of her makeup, her clothes, and the way she held herself. But maybe I was wrong. Why is her character so judgmental? It's pretty funny. Like, he really shouldn't be, but he keeps on judging people like the first time he meets them. It was like that with the other character I forgot. Like, they had only said like 2 sentences, and he's like, oh, I think they're this way. They're very old-fashioned and blah 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 and traditional. It's like, you really haven't said anything to them. You just overheard them say 2 sentences. But whatever. But maybe I was wrong. Or maybe that wasn't everything there was to her. She seemed like a genuinely nice person. Also, you had to admit, she was hot as hell. Well, damn, at least we're getting right to it now. She was completely out of my league. A girl like that usually went for someone that was a successful athlete, or maybe even a movie star. But I wouldn't mind spending more time with her. How many successful athletes do you find, or movie stars? There's not a whole bunch. After all, you never know. It's not like you run into them every day.